The darkness of a $34.1 trillion debt looms large over the United States, casting a storm cloud of uncertainty and fear. This staggering figure is a testament to years of fiscal irresponsibility and spells a future so bleak that even the most optimistic forecasts get blown around like a palm tree in a hurricane of economic despair. Batten down the hatches because things look rough ahead. This is Real Estate Rundown. Let's get started. Amidst the dark horizon where the light of prosperity is dim, lies a cautionary tale of desperation and urgency, challenging the very foundation of our economic stability. Stephen Schwarzman, the CEO of Blackstone, one of the world's leading investment firms, casts a critical eye on the future of the U.S. economy if the current president wins re-election in November. With a national debt soaring to $34.1 trillion and the debt-to-GDP ratio at a staggering 122%, the numbers paint a grim picture. Schwarzman voices concerns that echo the fears of many, a future where deficits continue to balloon with no end in sight, compounded by troubling matters such as open borders, an influx of 8 million people, and the current government's resistance to energy independence. Yet, in the face of adversity, there's a glimmer of hope. Despite the dire predictions, Schwarzman maintains optimism for 2024, foreseeing a slowdown in the economy as a normal response to high interest rates, along with expectations that rates will be coming down in the latter half of the year. Blackstone, with its trillion-dollar asset management portfolio, predicts a downturn in inflation rates, aligning them closer to the Federal Reserve's target. This optimism is rooted in real-time data which challenges the prevailing narratives with a dose of reality. Adding to the chorus of concern, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and financial leaders like Dimon and Ray Dalio have also set off alarms about the unsustainable path of U.S. fiscal policy. Powell, in a rare public critique, emphasized the urgency of returning to a sustainable fiscal path, criticizing lawmakers for borrowing from future generations with policies that have led the national debt to surge to an all-time high. Dimon warned of a potential rebellion against the U.S. economy's direction, forewarning of a dangerous cliff ahead that is unavoidable if significant changes aren't made. Mark Spitznagel, founder and chief investment officer of private hedge fund Universa Investments, described the current situation as the greatest credit bubble in human history, underscoring the magnitude of the debt challenge. This sentiment is echoed by Ray Dalio, founder of hedge fund giant Bridgewater Associates, who warned of an inflection point where the government may have to borrow just to make its annual debt servicing payments, a classic precursor to a debt crisis. Despite these dire warnings, there is a slight hint of hope. Powell highlighted the U.S.'s dynamic and innovative economy, suggesting that while the debt situation is severe, it's not too late for corrective action. This blend of caution and hope underscores the narrative that while the U.S. faces significant economic challenges, its inherent strengths offer a path to recovery. But the question remains, is the United States on a slow and steady path to recovery, or are we merely postponing an inevitable financial crisis? As we stand at the crossroads of uncertainty and hope, the story of America's economic future is yet to be written. Will the measures taken today steer us away from the edge of the precipice, or are we marching blindly towards a cliff? The Chronicle of America's National Debt is not just a story of numbers and economic forecasts, it's a reflection of policy choices, political will, and the collective future of its legal citizens. The discussions about this debt often revolve around the need for fiscal responsibility, the balance between spending and revenue, and the long-term implications of borrowing from future generations. These conversations are pivotal in shaping the policies that will determine the economic landscape of the United States for years to come. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, while acknowledging the concerns, has pointed to net interest payments as a share of GDP as a critical metric, arguing that it remains at a reasonable level. But is she really a credible source of truth? This perspective highlights the complexity of the debt issue, where different metrics and interpretations can lead to delusional conclusions about the severity of the situation and the urgency of addressing it. The fact is that as long as the current administration is in charge, we are going to keep getting what we are getting, and going over that dangerous cliff will be inevitable. As the United States navigates this challenging economic terrain, the voices of financial leaders, policymakers, and the voting public converge in a commotion of concern, hope, and debate. The path forward requires not just an understanding of the numbers, but a commitment to sustainable fiscal policies that can support the nation's economic health without compromising the prospects of future generations. What do you think? Are you concerned about America's national debt situation? The bigger question is, are you concerned about your own debt situation? Our country can be prosperous again, but only if we, the people, take a stand and let our voices be heard this election year. Share your thoughts in the comments below. This is Real Estate Rundown. Thanks for watching today.